Hi everyone. I'm sure you know that sometimes an Excel interview test is not about the formulas it's about how calmly you deal with complex and unfamiliar data. And this Excel test is all about that. In this video, we will be solving an Excel case study given to a friend of mine for an analyst role in 2025, which he had to complete and submit in just 90 minutes. Let's see the data. It looks like something from a dental clinic, and that's totally fine. The industry might be new, but the key is to focus on the questions and not the jargon. We are not here to be dental experts, we just need to scan the columns and get familiar. Let's quickly see what we have here. Exam description, exam end date fiscal period, exam end date fiscal year, then dental exam end date. We have site, location where the test was done, exam status, priorities assigned to these tests, and then we have exam requisition received date. So we know what we have, and that's enough to start solving the questions confidently. Before moving on to questions, if you want to feel this like a real test, I would recommend pausing a video here and download the file from description to try solving it yourself, and then watch my video to see how I would approach it step by step. Question 1. Column E in raw data tab has the exam end date in text format. Convert this to a date format. Insert the end date as a new column in column J. So we have exam end date in column E, and we need to create a new column J with exam date in date format. As of now, it's in text format. We need date in date format. As a best practice, create a new working sheet. So create a copy of this sheet. Name all your sheets properly. I am naming it working sheet. Now, given that we want E column in date format, to create a date, we need year, we need month, we need day. And we can extract all this from here using left function, mid function, and right function. Left function we will use to extract year. We need 4 characters from left. We need 2 characters from mid to get our month, and we need 2 characters from right to get our days. And then we can nest all this inside date function. So let's start with date, and then left our text is column E. So E2, and we need 4 characters. So this will give us year. Then mid function, our text is again the same. We want our function to extract from 5th character, and we need 2 characters to be extracted. Then for days, we need right function. Text is again the same, but this time it will extract 2 characters from the right. So we have our date. Let's name this column as exam end date, and we can drag down this function to the last row. So Control D, done. Let's move on to question number 2. Segment the data to compare historical data trends as per the accounting period for specialized and routine volume and wait times, which is number of orders, 50th and 90th percentile wait times. Subcategorize them by priorities, and then we have a note saying specialized tests are all tests with CBCT in their description, and routine tests are everything else. Then each exam description is considered as one order. So we need to first of all categorize our data into specialized and routine. Let's go back to our working sheet. Column B has exam description. So we can categorize our data into specialized and routine using this column. To find text inside a string, we have 2 options to use. Either we can use find or we can use search. Find is case sensitive and search is not case sensitive. Both return the starting position of the match if found inside the text string. So for example, if we use find function to find CBCT inside B2, like our first string, we will get 1 as an output because it starts from first character in this text string. And it returns error if there is no match found. So what we can do is we can wrap our find function inside ISNUMBER, which will give true if found something and false if not. So let's just start with find function. Find text. Our first argument is find text CBCT. Then inside which text? This one, and close bracket. You can see we get 1 as an output. And for second row, we will get an error because TBT is not present in the text. Now we can wrap this function inside ISNUMBER. For this first row, we will get true as an output. For second, we will get false as an output. Wrap this function with if function, because if we have true as an output for this test, we can use specialized. And if we have false, we can say if function to give us an output of routine. Now we can just drag this formula. And you can see for first row we have specialized as an output, and for second we have routine. Name this column as category type. Next, we were asked to calculate the number of orders, P50 wait time and P90 wait time. And then we need to present it by category type and priority. Let's calculate wait time here. It's just the difference between the exam end date. So this is the exam end date and this is the requisition date. This is difference in days. So here the difference is 0. So there is no wait time in days. We can again drag this formula to the last row and we have wait time calculated. We can see for some of the starting rows the wait time is 0 only. But let's see if we have any other wait time. Yeah, so here it is 3. Then 13, 12. Okay, that's fine. Now before moving on to create a pivot table and then calculate percentile wait time, a quick refresher on percentile so that you can better visualize it and understand. 50th percentile or P50 means 50% of patients are tested or served within that many days. Example could be if out of 100 patients, your 50th patient is served in 3 days, then your P50 is 3 days. Similarly, P90 means 90% of patients are served or tested within that many days. For example, if your 90th patient is served in 5 days, then P90 is 5 days. Generally, in the service industry, they are tracked for monitoring performance and identifying the bottlenecks. Here, I will show you 2 approaches to calculate the percentile times and present it in a way that has been asked in a question, that is by category type, priority and across time period. In the first approach, we will use power pivot, and in the second approach, we will use filter function. So let's start with approach 1, that is using power pivot. We can convert our data into table format. For that, select your data, press Ctrl T, and my table has headers. Okay. We can name our table as data. Right. Now go to insert, press pivot table and new worksheet. Check this because this is key to use power pivot. Add this data to the data model and press OK. Our first metric is to calculate the number of orders, which I think is straightforward. We need to drag our category. Now under category, we can drag our priority. Then across column, we can drag our fiscal period. And for number of orders, we can simply drag our dental description catalog to values. And this will give us count of orders. So let's change this layout. So go to design, go to report layout and use show in tabular format. This way your priority will be in the separate column. Like all of your row field will be in a separate column. Let's just change the width of the columns. We don't want grand total. To off that grand total, again you can go to design, go to grand totals and press off for rows and columns. I don't want either for rows or columns, so off it. For priority, you may have noticed we have been asked to show only P1 to P4. Just select P1, P3 and P4. We had adjusted our column width, but it automatically got updated when we change pivot table. So if you don't want your pivot table to change the column width every time, what you can do is right click on the pivot table, go to pivot table option, unselect auto fit column widths on update. So this way your column width will stay as it is. So this was our number of orders. So we are done with number of orders. Now we have to calculate 50th percentile. For that, I will just try to copy paste this pivot table because our row criteria and our column criteria will be same. It's just that the value we have to change the value field. So go to pivot table, analyze, and field list. Now to calculate the 50th percentile, what you can do is you can right click on data, go to add measure, and here you can define your measure and calculate it. What is our measure name? 50th percentile. And we will use inbuilt function of percentile calculation. So percentile.INC. What is our column? Our column is data, wait time, and K will be here 0.5. So given that it's 50th percentile, K will be 0.5. Press OK. And you can see your calculated measure here, 50th percentile. Similarly, we can add 90th percentile. So percentile.INC data wait time 0.9. And you can see FX 90th percentile. The beauty of this calculated measure is it is context aware. It calculates percentiles based on whatever filters your pivot table has. This can't be done directly with a normal pivot calculated field because a regular pivot would just average or sum or count your pre-calculated percentile, which is wrong in this case. Now we can just drag this 50th percentile here and just remove this one. And we have 50th percentile measure. Similarly, we will copy paste this and we'll remove 50th percentile and we can drag our 90th percentile measure. Now we have all the three calculated field using Power Pivot. Let's rename this file to response to Q2. Now I will show you the other approach for which we will be using filter function. If you don't know how to use filter function, I have created 2 videos on filter function. You can watch it. Let's just copy paste this and go. I will drag this routine category across the priorities. Similarly, the specialized across the priorities. Let me just copy paste this as well, the accounting period. I am renaming this sheet as alternative approach. For the number of orders, you can use the previous approach, which is simple pivot table. I will show you how to calculate 50th percentile using filter function. So for filter function, we have 3 criteria. One is category, second one is priority, and then the accounting period. Now let's start with our filter function. Our array here is wait time. So let's select wait time. Then our first criteria is category type. So category. This should be equal to routine. Our column is fixed. We want our column to be fixed. So press F4. And so multiplication operator. So our criteria is in AND. We want priority as our next criteria. So priority, which is equal to this. Again, our column is fixed. So press this. Our third criteria is accounting period. So let's go to here. And accounting period, which is C column, is equal to this one. But here our row is fixed. So press F4 once and then twice. And column is moving, right? So our filter function is ready. But now we want this filter function to be inside the percentile function. We need to wrap it inside the percentile function. So percentile, the output of this filter function will act as an array to the percentile, comma, our kth argument, which is 0.5, and enter. You can drag this, press Ctrl D. You can drag to the right and press Ctrl R. To check if this is the output that we got in our Power Pivot, we can check it. Let's just pick last row, last column, which is 86. And here also we can see 86. Let's just check one more data. Let's see P2 and 1, accounting period 1, which is 4 here. And here also it is 4, right? So this was your alternative approach using filter function. You can replicate the same for P90 as well. Question 3. Provide a visual depiction of 3 metrics in question 2 by accounting period for priority to routine test and write a paragraph explaining your choice of visuals. So let's see. We have number of orders. We have 50th percentile and we have 90th percentile. We need to plot number of orders for routine test with priority of P2 across the accounting period. Similarly for 50th percentile and 90th percentile. So let's just create another sheet saying response to Q3 accounting period, number of orders, 50th percentile, 90th percentile. We can use transpose function given that we have our data in a row but now we want it in a column. So we can use transpose function, select transpose and it will transpose your data. For number of orders as well, we can do the same, transpose, and we want number of orders for P2 and routine. So this one, and enter. Transpose, we will do the same for 50th and 90th percentile. We can use a combination of charts here. Let's go to insert, click on this arrow, go to all charts, go to combo, number of orders, okay, clustered column, we want that to be as a column chart. But for 50th percentile also we want line chart, and here we need these two on secondary axis. So check these boxes and press OK. Now let's do some formatting. I don't want this axis to be here. So I'll just remove the labelings and here it will be none. Same for the secondary axis. I will do it none. But I will show the data labels on top of the line and bars. Add data labels, add data labels. And we can name this chart as number of orders and wait time in days. The columns show how many patients came in and the lines show if wait times are holding steady or spiking with volume. And it makes service performance instantly visible. So we can see that for 50th percentile, more or less the wait time stays constant. But for P90, the data is fluctuating. Let's move on to question number 4. Identify and display the percentage of priority to patients for specialized and routine whose orders were completed within wait time and benchmark of 7 days by site for the entire year. Let's create a new sheet saying response to Q4. So we need to present our data for priority P2 and tests within 7 days and total number of tests, and this will be percentage of tests within 7 days. Let's see what are the sites we have. We have 5 sites. We can pull that site using transpose inside unique function. So unique will help us to get the list from our working sheet and transpose will help us to transport the data. These are the sites. Now we can use COUNTIF function with the 3 criteria. One is test within 7 days. So our wait time should be less than and equal to 7. Second criteria will be the site and third will be the priority. So COUNTIFs. Let's start with our first criteria of wait time, which is less than and equal to 7. Our second criteria will be the priority, which in our case will be fixed P2. Then our third criteria will be the site. So our site is equal to this one. We need our row to be fixed. So press F4 and our row is fixed but column is moving. Enter. These are the tests which have waiting time of less than and equal to 7 days. Now we want total number of tests, but total number of tests by site and the priority. So we can just drag this formula. We can remove this condition. And we will get the total number of tests by priority and criteria. Drag this to the right, press Ctrl R. Now the percentage of test will be C4 by C5. Press Ctrl R to drag it and press Ctrl Shift percentage to make it percentage format. And this is it. Number of tests within 7 days by priority and by site. So what's the takeaway of this case study? The real lesson here, it's not about memorizing Excel function. It's about staying calm, breaking the problem down and choosing the right tool for each step. Let me know in the comments if you want me to create an Excel interview test for a specific role, and also comment what was asked in your interview so that it also helps other viewers to learn from your experience. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.